All right, so y'all, now let's move on from talking about the skin to talking about closing your legs to marry men, okay? Nene, whenever I found out about this happening, I was like, man, this sucks because I always say, anytime you get caught saying something, anytime you get recorded saying anything, it's always a moment where it's not gonna age well. Dang, this ain't gonna age well because they're gonna bring up that one time. So Nene's boyfriend, don't know his name. His wife is suing
Yanni.
her. What's his name, Jamie?
Yanni. They call him Yanni. It's a longer name, but they call him Yanni.
Okay, Yanni. His wife, this man's still married in my Love and Marriage DC accent. This married man, his wife is wanting to sue Nene for $100,000 because in the state of North Carolina, where they are, you're not allowed to have extramarital affairs. So to me, I think it's wild that she's only suing for $100,000. Like maybe that's the cap. But I do feel like it's probably a situation where him and his wife were separated and she just wants some money now. But I have also heard people saying that maybe he's in on it. But to me, ain't no way I'm splitting $100,000 if I'm suing Nene Leakes. So I don't think that he's in on it. What y'all think about Nene and her opening her legs to this married man?
Close your legs to marry men. I don't know how to feel. I feel like the lady is not going to get money, but IDK, because I think Fantasia had this same situation where she ended up losing money. So it's very likely that Nene could lose a coin, but I do have questions. Are they still married and legally separated? Like, is there any paperwork for legal separation? And how does that work in North Carolina? Also, he put out a statement where he pretty much said, when somebody doesn't appreciate you when you're there, let them appreciate your absence. And it just made me think of Simon Guobadia for some reason. It's a little off for me. And also, I think suing for $100K is a bit cheap, but I don't know what the law in North Carolina says. Maybe that's the max you could try to get out of someone. But yeah, either way, good luck, Nene.
It makes me feel like the husband, I mean, he must be broke if you suing Nene. Like that's one thing that came to my mind. Like, so do you have any money? Does your husband have any money? Because make me understand why you're suing her for money. I just kind of feel like this is, I don't know. I feel like this is stupid. I feel like essentially now you're filing a lawsuit. Like, this relationship is stale at this point, and now you're filing a lawsuit. So how were you feeling initially when this first happened? Did it take you this long to procure a lawyer so that you can get a lawsuit against Lenithia? Like, I may not like Lenithia, but girl, get the fuck out of here with this. Like, take you and your weird smile, pained face looking husband on somewhere then. This is why we felt like, Nene, you were mad that people felt like you shouldn't have been dating seriously this soon after Greg's death. And this is why. Because you are open emotionally to get swindled by niggas who you think are telling you or showing you something good when really they're a scammer. You're a fucking scammer. I don't know what's going on, but what I know is it doesn't feel good. And I may not always like Lenithia, but this doesn't. No, I don't like none of how this feel.
I sent Niecy a clip that I think will speak for itself. And how
legs to married men. Close your legs to married men. You heard me? Close your legs to married men.
That too.
It's like it's that simple. I feel like Nene don't even realize that at the end of the day, even if that man was separated, even if that man told you, "Oh, we getting a divorce," I feel like just don't do it. Just wait. Your husband has passed away. Like, if all the folks move on with, why move on with someone who's married? I think that's kind of crazy. Now, I also feel like it's done for a wife to sue the girlfriend, not the husband. I mean, like, your issue should be with him, not Nene. Like,
you can't sue your husband though. Not for that law, based on that. Well, she'd be taking from
not
herself.
for that law, but get that alimony and shut your ass up.
Right.
Like run his pockets. Like move money from accounts. Like there are ways. Like get some credit cards in his name and just cash him out. Like,
not surprised that this happened because this seemed like it would fit his character. Because who really gonna come out as the boyfriend of a woman after her husband just died? Any decent human would have told her, like, I get that you happy, babe, but because I care about you, this is what they gonna say about you, and I'm not gonna let you play yourself by coming out too early. So let's wait about 6 months.
Now, what I do want to say is, I also heard him and a wife have been separated for a while. I heard that part too. But he's still married. I think the same way, back on Housewives when Kim said, Big Papa, separated. Nene then said, close. She still made it an issue. Like even so, it's like you're in the exact same situation. Him and that tried to separate it. So was Big Papa and his wife or whatever. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I'm like, it made Nene look stupid.
She been looking stupid. This ain't the first time. We told her not to do this. But remember we were feeling this? We were all in the DMs like this don't feel right, but we not gonna say nothing because we don't want to judge.
But then back on the show, somebody said that they had saw Nene up north dating somebody. Was this the same guy? When Nene was back on the show, didn't that rumor come out? That she was caught. Yeah, like caught hanging out with somebody. This was way before Greg, I think, got diagnosed again because the year Greg
she was cheating on him.
I wonder if this is the same dude.
Was trying to smash French Montana.
See, I didn't think this was the same dude. I thought that was separate from this. But either way, I feel like she's been out here. I feel like she's been out here doing her for a while now. Like even before he got sick, I think they had an understanding. Because he was doing what he wanted to do. And Nene being a woman that she was at that point, I don't think she was going to continue a relationship if he was the only one getting outside. So I think that they probably had an agreement to both get outside. He got sick. And then it still is what it is. Like at the end of the day, like I'm going to take care of you. You're going to be all right. Then you pass. I'm going to bury you. You're going to have everything you need. But ultimately, like, I'm still going to be doing what I want to do. I don't begrudge her that. But to me, going public was too much because I feel like you don't know people like that. And you don't know how people may be using you or taking advantage. So it's just safer to be in your own space while you go through your emotions. And then you can come out on the other side of it. But to make him like a public figure in your life, this definitely puts you at a disadvantage. So even though I feel like, oh, girl is like on some bullshit suing her, it feels scammy more than anything. I still feel like she put herself in this situation, but Nene is always slipping. Like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, she is. She is. Kind of reminds me of how people say slipping. Reminds me of how people was talking about Monique and how she be having tantrums. But we'll talk about that. Okay. So now let's move on from that to talking about